It's about no risk, no gain.
Founder of Women for Financial Independence.
It's about success, sweet success.
Governor's Conference for Women.
Smart girls finish rich.
She's the president and CEO of ChappelWood Financial.
It's about consistency will always outperform occasional brilliance.
And she is the financial diva.
It's about the money.
Hello and welcome to It's All About the Money, honey, and I'm your host, Paul Gebhardt, with my guest today, Damon King of ChappelWood Financial Services. Welcome, Damon.
Thanks, Paul.
Good to see you again, buddy.
Yeah, it's good to see you, too.
I was just complimenting you on that suit. You're looking very sharp today.
Well, you know, I'd like to claim that I put this together, but, give me a call about Maggie, and I'll tell you all about Maggie. If you want to know who put this together, it's Maggie. I'll tell you all about it.
Maggie's got style.
That's right. That's right.
Fantastic. Hey, listen, I wanted to talk to you before we get into the topic today. Ask you a little bit about your motivation to becoming a financial advisor. What was it? What made you decide that this is the path you wanted to go down?
The primary reason was because I had made some horrible financial decisions of myself in my early 20s, just like a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And I paid a heavy price to get out of those. You know, I had to work multiple jobs to get out of it and to try to correct some of those mistakes that I'd made. But one of the things that I learned through that whole process was not only was I willing to work hard to get what I wanted, but I also read every book I could find about investing, how the stock market works, how taxes work. It's so shameful that in this country, and we teach kids in school about things they need to know. Reading, writing, arithmetic, right?
Yes.
Those are important.
Absolutely.
History, those kinds of things. Where we are woefully inadequate is teaching kids about personal financial literacy. Now, thankfully, in the state of Oklahoma, we have something called the Passport to Financial Literacy, grades 7 through 12. Students have to take a personal financial literacy course. And our firm's CEO, Victoria Woods, was a key part of getting that legislation passed.
Really?
But still, it's a struggle to get that into schools. I made a personal commitment that once I got out of my financial difficulties, I looked to the heavens and said, someday, if I have the chance, I'm going to help other people, just like the people out there watching this show right now. If you've made financial mistakes, there are few mistakes that you can make that you can't recover from. It's not a death sentence, all right? But you've got to be willing to work at it, Paul. You've got to be willing to work at it, and that's where we come in. We can't make decisions for you, but we can guide you and give you a path so that you can stay on that straight and narrow.
That reminds me of something I heard. The only mistake you make that you can't recover from is the mistake of not making a choice.
That's exactly right.
Not doing something.
And as our good friends Rush told us, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice.
It's so true. Actually, I think there's a lyrics from a song, as a matter of fact.
It's from Rush. That's right.
It is. It's a Rush dude.
Yeah.
Wow, I got a Rush fan on my head. Fantastic. So what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about is COVID's impact and some of the things that are going on. We're seeing layoffs like you wouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
So 401k rollovers. I mean, what can people do? Should they be letting their money sit still in the account? You know, with their company they're leaving, or what should they do?
And this is a question we've been getting a lot. Paul.
Yeah.
You know, I think of our new client Jim. Jim worked for an aerospace company here in the Oklahoma City area, a very well-known aerospace company. Worked there for 30-plus years. You would think that after that amount of time, that you're set.
Oh, sure.
Everything's good, right?
You should be completely financially stable.
That's exactly, and that your job is stable.
Sure.
That, no, I'm not going to be one of the ones cut.
Yeah.
He was cut.
Yeah.
You know, he was downsized, and through no fault of his own. It's because of what's happened in the economy. So when he called us and said, hey, I'd like to come in, visit with you guys. I listen to your radio show. I watch your show on television. I want to find out what you guys can do to help me. And most importantly, I need some guidance on my 401k. What do I do with it? So we get a lot of these questions. Obviously, you can leave the 401k there if that's what you want to do. When you leave your employer, you can leave your 401k there. Generally, though, we advise and we see most of our clients, I'm taking it with me.
Yeah.
You know, because one of the problems that you have when you leave your 401k with an old employer, you don't really have any control over it anymore. You certainly can't contribute to it anymore.
And that's a big part. I mean, there's no more contributions.
No more contributions. You're no longer getting a match on that money.
Yeah.
Okay? You may not have the ability to rebalance your account and choose different investment options. You might not any longer like the investment options.
Right.
And worse yet, what happens if your company goes out of business? What happens if that 401k plan disbands? What do you do then? So generally speaking, we like to take it with us.
Yeah.
You know, it's easier to deal with money that you take with you as opposed to leave behind.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it makes total sense. You want to be in control of your money.
That's right.
That's what it comes down to. How about, what do you say to people that have stock options? You know, I know stock options aren't something, you know, maybe as common as they used to be, right?
Yeah, they are. And you know, we still have a number of Fortune 500 companies, publicly traded companies, even privately traded companies that part of their incentivize or part of their compensation package is stock options or stock grants. One of the industries that has been hardest hit in Oklahoma has been the energy industry, particularly in oil and gas. We've got some of our large oil and gas companies like Chesapeake Energy, Sandridge Energy. We've seen it at Devon Energy. We've seen it at Continental Resources. All right, these are all large companies that are bulwarks, stalwarts of our economy and of our community. They give millions of dollars every year in charitable contributions to support the nonprofit community. They have had to scale back. Well, a lot of times when people leave their job, those stock grants that they received, a lot of times those are instantly vested to you, and it's a taxable event. You know, we're not talking about stock grants inside of a tax-deferred account. These are usually after-tax accounts, and then once those shares are vested to you, that becomes a taxable event. So what we like to ask our clients is, what kinds of compensation do you think you're going to receive as part of this severance? Probably a severance package, all right? Maybe there's some kind of deferred compensation package you're going to receive. Are there any stock benefits? Because if there are, we need to know that to help maybe manage your taxes, or maybe we have the opportunity to, you know, redeem some of those shares at different times to manage the flow of income and to manage the flow of taxes that you have to pay on those.
Good stuff. I have to ask you this. I mean, a lot of folks today, there's a do-it-yourself theme going around a lot. And in my humble opinion, I think it's a detriment to people. I really do. I think we discount the value of time and how limited it is. And to be able to spend it with your family, friends, you know, doing the hobbies, going places you want. And to me, that's what life is truly, truly about. Yeah. And you see more and more corporate America is pushing apps on people to basically do their own work.
Yep, absolutely.
If you notice, there's an app for banking, there's an app for your insurance. I mean, they basically are having you on the payroll without getting paid, really, right? Yeah. What do you say to the person out there who, you know, they just think that it makes so much more financial sense to do this on their own? What do you say to that?
I say, number one, you can do that. That's okay. You can change your own oil in your car. You can try to cut your own hair. We've seen a lot of people doing that in the time of COVID, right? We've seen some disasters on Instagram and TikTok and things like that, right?
Funny.
There are a lot of things you can do on your own. You can even go with a robo-advisor. You know, we feel, well, I can just do it all online, right? Can I just do these things on a robo-advisor? You know what I would say to those people is a robo-advisor or doing it, who's going to hold your hand when perhaps you lose a spouse, and guide you not just through the financial trauma that you're about to go through, but the emotional toll that it takes.
Right.
We do that. Who's going to guide you through making these key decisions about what should I do with my money? What kinds of assets should I own? When should I claim Social Security? How is this going to impact my Medicare? Those are all the things that we help our clients do. And that's why we created what we call our Gold Bucket Optimizer.
Pick up the phone call, 888-838-DIVA. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back after these messages.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
Welcome back to It's All About the Money, Honey, and I'm your host, Paul Gebhardt, with our good friend here, Damon King of ChappelWood Financial Services. Damon, you mentioned something kind of before break that I think is important for people to understand about the importance of a process. And you have a plan that you guys have done, you and Victoria, to help people with that, called the Gold Bucket Optimizer.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Well, what it's all about is that everybody has buckets of gold. Oh, yeah. All right, you've got your gold, right?
Well, we'd like to.
That's right. We call it your gold.
Right.
All of that money that you have been building and accumulating over a 30, 40-year career.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they think, oh, I'm diversified, they think about one of those buckets, their stocks, bonds, and mutual funds bucket, their money at risk in the stock market. To us, as financial advisors, as planners, you've got more than that gold bucket. You've got a gold bucket that's cash. How much cash do you have in the bank that you can get to really quickly if there's an emergency? Your other bucket, protected money. We call it guarantee of principal. Do you have any money that is completely protected from any kind of loss and allows you to participate in market-linked returns, market or indexed returns without the risk of any loss? If you are tired of participating in market downturns, you went through 2008, you don't want to go through it again.
Yeah.
The simplest way to avoid a market crash is don't participate in it.
No, absolutely right.
And one of the ways you can do that is with protected money. Certainly, you've got your stocks, bonds, and mutual funds bucket. There's even a fourth bucket. We call it other. And, it's Oklahoma, right? People own oil wells, and so they get mineral royalties. Maybe you own rental real estate that you receive income from. Perhaps you have a business. So you've got cash, protected money, stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, and other investments that all together, those gold buckets, form the basis of your retirement income plan. What we want to do in this service, our Gold Bucket Optimizer, is do you have gold in each one of those buckets? What percentage of your total wealth is in each one of those buckets? I'll never forget our client Ann came in, and what she was really concerned about was, how am I going to get income? Okay, she just sold almost 100 acres of oil-producing property.
Oh, wow.
That was providing income for her, about $1 million worth. She was concerned about replacing the income. The problem that she didn't see was, you got $1 million just sitting in the bank doing absolutely nothing for you. Oh. You've got 85% of your money in the bank earning you a princely sum of 0.1%.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
What we were able to show her was, you can keep money in the bank, but you can also spread that out in your other buckets and have money growing for you in the market, but also have some money protected. Right now, she's got about 33% of her money protected. And I promise you, when COVID-19 hit and the market did this, she loved coming into her strategy review to see, okay, I know I've lost some money in my stocks, bonds, and mutual fund bucket, but that protected bucket, I like that one.
I like it.
That's the one that didn't lose any money. And in the end, what she saw, her actual total wealth was still about where it was before COVID hit.
Really?
And that's why the gold buckets are so powerful.
Yeah.
Because you see where my money is, and you don't freak out when one of them has a bad day.
Damon, you mentioned something, I think, and I know there's somebody out there who's thinking this exact question right now. You mentioned about that $1 million that Ann had in the bank. Right? I mean, the old habits die hard, don't they?
That's right, yeah.
I mean, there's a big misconception that liquidity, having your money in the bank and having it readily available is the way to go. But people don't realize there's other ways to have liquidity, right?
Oh, absolutely.
There's so many different vehicles. Could you share a few of them?
Absolutely. We love, our clients have cash. We love to have cash, 3-5% of their total wealth might be in cash in the bank. They want a new car.
Yeah.
Our client Mike sold a dental practice. And one of his big concerns was, my wife has never owned a brand new car. And I'd like to go out and buy her a new car, but gosh, that new Mercedes is $60,000. I'm not really sure if I can spend that. Victoria and I took a look, it's like, dude, you got about $3 million here. Go buy the car. All right?
Right.
Go buy the $60,000 car. You got plenty of cash there. But you're exactly right.
Yes.
You can take some of that cash that's doing nothing for you. One of the biggest challenges that you're going to have in retirement is keeping pace with inflation, beating inflation. Inflation and taxes are eating into you all the time.
Right.
Cash is losing you money every day in the bank.
That's so true.
So one way that we can get kind of, I call it a hybrid, the best of both worlds, market-linked gains without the risk, plus better interest than we're going to get in our savings account, we look at some of our indexing options. All right, our guarantee of principal. I mean, interest rates are going up right now. Many of the partners that we work with, they've declared increases in interest rates. We've got some of these strategies that, in addition to, 4 or 5% interest rate over time that you're going to get possibly a bonus of 6, 7, maybe 10% on your money instantly. And it's always locked in no matter what the market does. And so that balance, having that safety net, allows us to be able to put the money in the market and not worry as much.
I like that a whole lot. So let me ask you then. So you've helped me with my little fear of liquidity, the liquidity scare. There's also the issue sometimes of, I think about, what if I have a medical emergency and I need to get it some money?
Yeah. A lot of these protected strategies that we deal with, that's one of the big questions we get is, what if I need some of this money? What if I need it for long-term care? What if I just need it for an emergency? Many of these strategies, they offer you the opportunity for partial liquidity to come in and take out 10% of the account, to use it however you want, Oftentimes, you can take out even more. What if you happen to go into a nursing home or some kind of an assisted living facility? And you need that, and you don't have long-term care insurance? Often these strategies will allow you to take some of that money out without dipping into your money that's in the stock market that you might be counting on to live on inside of retirement. So there are many, many options. That's why we offer the Gold Bucket Optimizer, because if you've got all your money in one bucket, it's tough for us to build a plan to give you options, and that's really what we provide, options.
Okay, so you got me very curious now. So I'm thinking, all right, so I'm going to show up. What do I need to bring when I come to my first appointment with you? Do I have to have my checkbook with me? Do I got to have all these statements and boxes? What sorts of things do I need to bring? What can I expect?
I'll tell you what our process is, and we're going to get those things from you long before we ever see you the first time.
Really?
First thing that's going to happen when you call us and you request, hey, I want that Gold Bucket Optimizer complimentary process that you all offer. First thing you're going to do is talk to Shelly Myatt, our Director of Client Services. She's going to ask you a whole host of questions. We ask a lot of questions. I tell clients all the time, look, I hope it's okay, I'm nosy. I can't do my best work unless I know. It's a good nosy. I need to know where all the bones are buried, because I can't give you my best advice unless I do.
Absolutely.
So we're going to ask you, where is your money? We're going to ask you, what's most important to you? Growth of your money? Protection of your money, income from your money. When do you want to retire? And most importantly, how much money needs to show up in your bank account every month to fund the lifestyle that you want? We ask all those questions. We ask for copies of your current statements, because we're going to analyze all of your different holdings. It may be that you're riskier than you need to be. So we've analyzed those long before you come in.
That's fantastic stuff. Listen, we're going to have to take a quick break, but the lines are open. There's some spots available. Please pick up the phone. Reach out to us. 888-838-3482. Again, the consultation is completely complimentary. The phone call could change your life. That's what this is about. Meet with Damon and his team, Victoria and the crew. They would love to meet you and get to know you. Again, that's 888-838-3482. We'll be back after these short messages. Stay with us, won't you?
When was the last time you saw your financial professional? Are you getting the most out of the strategy that was created for you? Although you've done a great job finding someone to help plan for your future, are you 100% sure that you were given the right strategy? We can help answer these questions and more with a complimentary second opinion evaluation. We will take a look at what you have in place and then help determine if you're well positioned to get the most out of your future retirement income. In the event that it is not, we can help by making suggestions and showing you how to get on the right path. You wouldn't get just one opinion when it comes to a major health decision, so why would you treat your most important financial decision with such disregard? Call today for your no-cost, no-obligation second opinion evaluation to see if you're getting the most out of your retirement income plan.
Welcome back to It's All About the Money, Honey. I'm your host, Paul Gebhardt, with my good friend here, Damon Keene of ChappelWood Financial Services.
You got it.
Thank you, Damon, so much for all the incredible information. I can see the educator in you already.
Oh, I love teaching.
Yeah, I can tell that. You have that passion, for sure. And that's important. That's really important. Do you have time for a question? Because we got a viewer call in.
I just said I love to teach, so hit me with it.
Yeah,
Let's
okay,
go.
good.
Let's go.
So Pat in Tulsa wants to know. So Pat, if you're out there, should I roll my pension in lump sum or take the income?
Oh, okay. I'm going to give you, Pat, the answer, the dreaded answer that nobody wants to hear. It depends. Okay? It always depends.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. This is a question we get all the time, Paul, from our clients that have a pension. First of all, old-fashioned pension plans are really, they're going the way of the dodo. You know, we don't see too many of them anymore. When 401k plans came into being, a lot of companies got rid of their pensions, shifted the risk that they once had to now the employees to save on their own. Problem is, not enough people are saving. You know, it was a lot easier when companies were pumping money into a retirement account for you. You didn't have to think about it. A lot of people aren't doing that. But we do still see some people that have pensions. Sometimes a pension will allow you the opportunity to roll a lump sum out. Now, often that lump sum is it's calculated by the pension plan, what your lump sum is. If your plan offers the option to roll it out lump sum, that's the first thing we want to know, because not all pension plans allow that. The next thing we want to do is, okay, if we have a lump sum rollover option, or we have an income option, now we start to put together, as part of that gold bucket optimizer, an income plan. We want to see what's more advantageous for you. Okay, I need $8,000 a month in retirement. Okay, net of taxes and adjusted for inflation. Now what we want to do is, okay, is it going to be better to roll over that $1 million, $500,000 lump sum and manage that as an investment portfolio? Or is it going to be better for you to take it as income? We really won't know the answer to that until we run an income plan for you to be able to tell. And that's why I say it depends. Yeah. You know, now it also depends on, hey, you may want that money to continue to grow. If you convert it to income, that's it. You get one chance, and now you get income. You get income for life. But what if that income is not adjusted for inflation? What if there's no cost of living adjustment? What if the pension plan itself goes under? What kind of protections do you have? So a lot of our clients say, you know what, all things being equal, I'd like to maintain control over my money.
Yes, I was just going to say that. You brought up 2008, Damon, and boy, did that teach us a lot about pensions. Right? And so when I talk to clients, you know, and friends, you have three choices here. You can have the government in control, your employer in control, or you can be in control. So who can you rely on?
Of those three options, there's really one that I think
who can you really rely on the most, right? I mean, it's what we're talking about.
That's exactly. It's about control, and that's why Victoria and I love what we do. We thrive off of giving people control over their money. No one will ever care more about your retirement than you. What you need is someone on your team who's looking out for you, and that's what we do. Yeah,
you talk about a liberated feeling. That's a liberated feeling, is when you're in control of your financial future. And it's wonderful to have a team of people working with you. That's what's phenomenal about it. You had a really cool story about Ivan. Yeah. Could you share that with the viewers?
Absolutely. You know, at the top of the show, we were talking about how COVID has caused a lot of companies to lay a lot of people off. We saw unemployment skyrocket, you know, to levels we hadn't seen. In the span of about, 2 or 3 months, we lost 26 million jobs. Victoria and I were on a conference call with one of our investing partners, and one of the things that we do all the time, we're constantly learning, continuing education, keeping our finger on the pulse of what's happening in the market. We lost 26 million jobs in the span of a couple of months. A lot of those have since come back. A lot of them haven't. And a lot of people lost their jobs. Ivan was like one of those people. Now, he lost his job, and he worked in the energy industry, like a lot of our friends, a lot of our clients. He was 63 years old at the time. Not old, certainly by any measure.
Right.
You know, life was just getting started. Yeah. But in his mind, he felt like, no one's going to hire an old guy like me.
Sure.
They're not going to pay me the money that I was making. Mm-hmm. I think I'll just go ahead and retire. And I'll go ahead and claim my Social Security early. I know I'm going to take a reduction in my benefit because I'm not full retirement age. And I got some money sitting in savings. I guess I'll just live off of that. And Victoria and I kind of looked at each other. Did you just kind of forget about the $600,000 that we're managing for? Did you just forget about that? Maybe we should include that. I don't know.
It was couch money.
That's right, yeah. We said, hold on. Yeah. Before you do anything, let's run an income plan. Let's run a gold bucket optimizer for you.
Yeah.
Let's see. It may be that we can position your retirement assets in such a way that for the next few years, you can live off of those, delay your Social Security to full retirement age, and then when you get there, turn it on, get your full benefit. So we ran the plan for him, and what we found was that, absolutely, we could make that money last at least to age 90, adjusted for 3% inflation. Actually, in his case, it's 3.5%. We really stress tested his plan. Yeah,
I love the detail.
Yeah, and we found out that absolutely he could live off of his investments for the first 3 years.
Yeah,
and we divide that money into different buckets. And he could delay his Social Security, get his full retirement age benefit. But Paul, the best part of that story that I haven't even said yet, underneath all of that was a safety net. He had a guarantee of principal account of $450,000.
Wow.
That if we had a downturn in the market, he could start taking money from that if we needed to.
So he had lots of
Otherwise, he plans to use that bucket either to cover for long-term care expenses or leave as a legacy to his 2 sons.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of income planning. That's the beauty of our gold bucket process.
That's a good story. I like that story. And that could be your story. That could be your story. We want it to be your story. This is what it's about. It's about you. It's about your future. Doing the things you want to do, not the things you have to do. Having the freedom to choose, to go where you want, with who you want. There's a few spots left. We hope you're going to pick up that phone call. Again, that consultation is completely complimentary. You're going to meet Victoria. You're going to meet Damon. 888-838-3482. 888-838-DIVA. We want to thank you for being with us. Take care of yourselves and be well.